Once your SQL is connected to the My Invoice portal, the first thing you need to do is go to Customer, click on Maintain Customer. Select your customer's company and click Edit. Here, fill in their company registration number. If you don't have it, you can click on the magnifying glass icon. Use SQL's search function. Select your customer's company name. Make sure it's correct and then click OK. Next, go to the General section and make sure that the address, country, postcode, city, state, phone number, and other details are filled in. After checking, move on to the bottom section, which is e-invoice submission. Here you need to let the system know what is the default e-invoice type for this. You can select it here. After choosing, we'll move to the next part, which is the tax section. Using the search function here, if the system successfully finds that TIN, it will automatically fill it in. You need to make sure that the TIN shown by the system matches exactly with the TIN that your customer gave you. If it doesn't match, you'll need to confirm with the customer whether the correct TIN is the one shown by the system or the one they gave you. Once you're done, remember to click Save. Then you can choose Browse to return to the previous listing page. Here, if you want to quickly check which customer's details have already been updated, you can click the top left corner. For example, if you want to see the TIN here, you can check the TIN box. If you also want to see their company registration number, you can tick that box too. Or, if you want to see the default e-invoice submission type, tick that one as well. Doing this can make your work easier. Next, let's talk about case sales. If you have a general customer code, it is the same step which select Edit. This time, you don't need to fill in the SSM or company registration number. You just need to ensure which TIN this general customer uses. In here, I will choose this one, which refers to the general public. Then, click Save and return to the previous page. So this third method allows you to quickly update your customer's company registration numbers and TIN. You can right-click on a blank area and select TIN Lookup. The system will display a list of all your customers along with their company names. You can manually enter the registration numbers and TINs or use the system's search tool. Select the customer from the list and make sure the name is correct. Click OK. If the system finds a match, it will automatically fill in the TIN. After that, save it and refresh the page. The updated registration numbers and TINs will now be visible in the listing. Welcome to part 2, which is Maintain Supplier. If your company needs to self-bill your suppliers, then you must update their information in this section. Let's take Google Asia Pacific as an example. First, click on the company name, then click Edit. Since this is a foreign company, so we don't need to fill in their company registration number. Next, select the appropriate MSIC code that best describes the services they provide and nature of their business. Fill in their address, country, attention, and phone number. Then, select their default e-invoice submission type. For example, if this company requires self-billing, select Self-Billed. Select the most suitable classification code. This classification will be used automatically whenever this supplier is selected in a purchase invoice when submitting the self-billed e-invoice. Next, go to Tax section, select TIN. If it's a foreign supplier, choose the third option, which is the standard foreign supplier TIN. Once all info is complete, click Save. Click Browse, go back to the previous page. On the left side, click Column Chooser to filter and display relevant information. For example, you can choose to display TIN, e-invoice, submission type, or company registration number. If you have many suppliers that require self-billing, right-click in the blank area and choose TIN Lookup. This allows you to bulk update your supplier info, including their new and old BRN company registration numbers and TINs. Don't forget to click Save once everything is updated. Part 3 will guide you to maintain stock item. Click on Maintain Stock Item. Here we have to update the classification code of each product. First, select the column chooser and tick Classification Code. You can drag and reposition the column to where you like it to appear for easier viewing. The first method is to select this item and click Edit. Choose the appropriate classification code for this product. Click Save. Then click Browse to return to the list. The second method is update the classification code at once by keyword search. For example, if I fill in phones, and system will show there are 2 in the list. Right-click and choose Select All. All decryption with phone will be selected. Then I'm going to change these classification codes to the classification code I want. Right-click again and choose Batch Edit Value. Select the new classification code you want to apply. Click OK, and the system will ask for confirmation. Then, click Yes. Click Refresh to update the list. The classification code for all selected items will be updated. The third method is to select a range of items, such as the first and last item. Hold the Control key, then click the first and last items. Then, right-click and choose Batch Edit Value. Select the new classification code you want to apply. Then, click OK. After refreshing, all selected products will have the updated classification code. Part 4 will come in the transaction, which creating an e-invoice. First, go to the sales page and click Invoice. Follow your usual process for issuing an invoice. Click New and select your customer. If you have maintained stock items in the system, you can directly select them from the list. If not, you can manually enter your product or service name. Then fill in the quantity, UOM, and price. In the classification section, the system will automatically assign the default classification code based on the stock item settings. However, you can change the classification code if this particular transaction requires a different one. If you don't see the classification code field, click the column chooser at the left, then check the box for class to make the field appear. Once done, click More. Double-check the information. Finally, click Save to save the invoice. The first method to submit an e-invoice is to do it right after you issue and save the invoice. When you have issued an invoice, click My Invoice. Select Submit. Once it's validated, you'll see a check mark here, which means the submission was successful. Then click Refresh to update the page. The updated status will appear here. Now you can choose to preview. Choose the format you normally use. Click OK. Finally, on this page, you'll see the e-invoice QR code over here. Now, let's share the second way to submit an e-invoice. If you prefer to prepare all your documents first and then submit them all at once, here's how. Click Browse to go to the browsing page. On the right-hand side, click My Invoice. Select Batch. Submit e-invoice. Choose the date range to filter and view the documents, including those that haven't been submitted yet. Then click Apply. The system will display all unsubmitted e-invoices within that date range. From here, you can check the boxes that you want to submit. Right-click and untick all if needed. Once selected the invoices to submit, click Submit. The system will then submit all the selected e-invoices. Next, I will guide you on how to submit a consolidated e-invoice. First, go back to the browsing page. Click on My Invoice and select the first option. Here, you can choose the date range for the invoices you want to consolidate and submit. Once selected, click Apply. The system will then display all the documents within that date range. Click Next to proceed and review the information. After verifying the details, click Submit. Finally, the consolidated e-invoice has been successfully submitted. Here is the consolidated e-invoice number. The buyer name will be shown as General Public, and the total amount will show. Now, we will guide you to submit a debit note. First, go to the sales page and click on Debit Note. Follow your usual process for issuing a debit note. Click New and select your customer. Then, select the relevant item. Pay special attention to the From Document section. Since a debit note is referred to an existing invoice, click From Document to select the invoice it refers to. Select the invoice, and you can select more than one if needed. Click OK. Then click Save. If you want to submit them one by one, you can directly click My Invoice and select Submit. If you want to submit debit notes in bulk, click Browse to return to the browsing page. Then click My Invoice and select the first option, and the system will complete the submission process. In Part 6, we will teach you how to submit a credit note. Go to the sales page and click on Credit Note. Follow your usual process to issue a credit note. Click New and select Customer. Let's talk about Method 1. Right-click and choose the first option. Select the sales invoice from which you are returning the items. Tick the item you want to include in the credit note, and you can select multiple items if needed. Click OK and click Save. The system will ask if you want to knock off this credit note against the selected invoice. Click Yes if you want. Click No if you don't need it. Go to My Invoice and choose the first option to submit. The system will automatically validate and submit the credit note. The second method, for example, if you are not returning the product, but giving a commission or discount, click New and select the customer. Fill in discount and others information. At the right-hand side, make sure the classification code is correctly selected. Save and click from Document. This tells the system which invoice the credit note refers to. Select one or more invoices, then click OK. Then click Save. Go to My Invoice and click Submit. If you want to submit in batch, return to the browsing page and click My Invoice. Select the first option. The system will then submit accordingly. Now we're at part 7, where we'll show you how to submit a self-billed e-invoice and consolidated self-billed e-invoice. We'll start by creating a purchase invoice. Go to Purchase and click on Purchase Invoice. Follow your usual steps to create a purchase invoice. Click New. Select the supplier. Enter the supplier's invoice number. Next, fill in the details of the products or services purchased: quantity, unit of measurement, UMN, price. Then, click More. Make sure all the information is correct. Once everything looks good, click Save to save it. And with that, the creation part is done. Now we'll show you the first method to submit a self-billed e-invoice. After you save it, click on My Invoice, then select Submit. The system will automatically verify the self-billed e-invoice for you. Here is the invoice number, your supplier's name, and the buyer, which is yourself. The system will, based on your supplier's exchange rate and amount, to generate a validated self-billed e-invoice. Now, I'll share the second method to submit self-billed e-invoice. Let's say if you want to first fill in all your purchase invoices and then submit all the self-billed e-invoices at once. First click Browse, then click My Invoice. Here, select Batch Submit, e-invoice. Next, choose the desired date. Click Apply. This will display all the transactions, including the self-billed e-invoices that haven't been verified yet. You can select them and click Submit, and the system will verify them one by one for you. Next, we'll teach you how to submit a consolidated self-billed e-invoice. Let's say you're currently in the relaxation period, and your invoices are set to self-billed. In this case, you can issue consolidated self-billed e-invoices. First, on this browsing page, click My Invoice. Select the first option, then choose the date. If your e-invoice submission is under self-billed, you can also tick the box for Include Unsubmitted e-invoice. Then click Apply. Here, you can right-click and choose Tick All. Click Next. And finally, click Submit. The system will combine the selected invoices into one consolidated self-billed e-invoice. You will see the supplier's name as General Public, along with the buyer's name and the total amount. How to submit self-billed debit note in the Purchase module. First, go to the Purchase page. Click on Purchase Debit Note. Just like how you usually fill out a purchase debit note. Click New. Select the supplier. Enter the supplier debit note number. Then click from Document. Choose which purchase invoice or self-billed document you want to address. For example, I select this purchase invoice. Click OK. And here, for example, we can fill in extra charges. Then fill in the quantity, unit of measurement, and price. Then click More to make sure all the information is correct. Once confirmed, click Save to save it. Now go to My Invoice, select Submit e-invoice. And the self-billed debit note will be submitted. Just like before, the system will display the supplier's name, the buyer, which is yourself, and the amount. How to submit a self-billed credit note in the Purchase module. First, go to the Purchase page and click on Purchase Return. Follow the usual steps. Click New. Let's say you want to return goods. Select your supplier. For example, this exact fruits company. Enter the supplier's credit note number. Right-click and select the first option. which is transfer from purchase invoice. For example, if you want to return 20 apples, enter the quantity. Then click OK. So the system will display the item info. Click More to verify the details are accurate. Then click Save. The system will now ask if this purchase return should be offset against an invoice. If yes, click Yes. If not, click No. On the right, go to My Invoice and select Submit. A self-billed credit note will be generated successfully. You will see the supplier's name, buyer's name yourself, and refund amount. What if the supplier gives you a discount directly and you've already submitted a self-billed invoice? In this case, you also need to create a self-billed credit note to reverse it. Again, click New. Select Supplier and enter the credit note number. Here, fill in the discount details, quantity, UOM, and amount. Now you can choose to address a previously submitted self-billed invoice. Click from Document. For example, select the second invoice. Click OK. Click More to double-check the details. Click Save to save. After saving, click My Invoice and choose to submit. This self-billed credit note will now be successfully submitted. Just like before, you'll see the supplier's name, buyer's name, and the discount amount. Part 8. We will share how to submit both e-invoice and self-billed e-invoice via the General Ledger module. First, go to the General Ledger page. Click Cash Book Entry. Let's say you want to issue an e-invoice to your tenant for rental collection. Like usual, come to the right and click New OR. Select your GL code. Then, enter the amount, for example like 1,000. In the column chooser, you can also select and check classification code. Make sure the classification code you choose is accurate. Click More and pin it. Now, you'll need to select the company name. If you've previously issued an e-invoice or self-billed e-invoice to this company, you can select them from the list. If not, you can enter the company name directly. The name will appear on this side. If the name doesn't appear automatically, no worries. Press Enter after you key in the name. Now fill in the address, country, and postcode. The system will automatically detect the city and state based on the postcode. Enter the phone number. Then, you need to make sure that, under Submission Type, make sure to choose e-invoice. For ID type, if your tenant is an individual, select IC and enter their IC number. If you have their TIN number, you can enter it here. If not, you can also select General Public. If you do have an IC number, you can click the search icon. The system will search for the TIN automatically and autofill it if found. Once all the details are filled in, click Save. Then, go to My Invoice and select Submit. Finally, the system will submit the information and generate a verified e-invoice. Second method to submit a new official receipt via cash flow entry is, first, fill in all the details for your official receipt, as usual. After that, click Browse to return to the browsing page. On the right-hand side, click My Invoice. Then select the second option, which is Batch Submit e-invoice. From here, you can select all official receipts issued within a certain date range. The system will list them all for you, and you can choose which receipts you want to submit. For example, I only want to submit the second and third receipt, so just simply uncheck the first one. Then click Submit. The system will automatically verify and submit each e-invoice. Now we'll show you how to submit a consolidated e-invoice through Cash Book Entry. Let's say your customer does not require an e-invoice, but you still want to submit it as consolidated invoice. First, on this page, make sure that the transactions are in e-invoice or consolidated status. Then, click My Invoice and select the first option. Choose the relevant date range and tick here to include unsubmitted e-invoice. Click Apply. The system will now show you all the e-invoices that were supposed to be submitted, but the customers did not request them. Then we're going to submit it in consolidated form. Right-click and select Tick All. Then click Next. Click plus double-check the information. Click Submit. The system will automatically verify and submit the consolidated e-invoice. Now let's learn to submit an e-invoice refund in cash flow entry, which is similar to a sales credit note. First, click New PV. Let's say today you want to give a rental discount to your tenant. Fill in the necessary details and amount. In here, you can also choose from a previously entered record, if applicable. In the Submission Type section, make sure to select E-invoice refund. After checking everything, click from Document to tell system which official receipt or e-invoice this refund is based on. For example, I choose this one. Click OK. Then click Save. After saving, click My Invoice. Select Submit e-invoice. And the refund note will be successfully generated. Here, we'll show your payment voucher number, your name, tenant's name, and the refund amount. Next, we will guide you on how to submit a self-billed e-invoice via cashbook entry. Start by filling out a payment voucher, as you normally would. Click New PV. For example, let's say I'm paying an agent commission of RM 100. Fill in sales commission as usual, and the amount. On the left-hand side, select the agent's name. If the agent is not listed, you can type the name directly. After that, make sure to set the submission type to self-billed. Double-check all the information. Then select the correct classification code related to this commission. For example, if this is a commission payment, so I select self-billed monetary payment to agent, dealer, and distributor. Once completed, click Save. Then go to My Invoice and select Submit e-invoice. The system will automatically verify and submit the self-billed e-invoice. Here we'll display the payment voucher number, supplier's name your agent, buyer yourself, and the total amount. Now we'll share the second method of submitting self-billed e-invoice via cashbook entry. Just like before, start by filling in all the details for each payment voucher as usual. Click Browse to return to the browsing page. For example, let's say I have issued multiple commissions. Then I filled out all the related payment vouchers first. Now, if we want to submit all of them at once, here's what to do. Click on My Invoice and select the second option. The system will automatically detect how many of your payment vouchers is self-billed and haven't been submitted yet. Click Submit. System will verify and submit each self-billed e-invoice one by one for you. How to submit a consolidated self-billed e-invoice in cashbook entry. Say currently is in the interim relaxation period. During this time, you are allowed to submit consolidated self-billed e-invoices. First, click My Invoice on this page. Choose the first option. Select the desired date range, then tick the checkbox for Include unsubmitted self-billed e-invoices if want to. Click Apply. In this example, the classification type selected is Commission. You might see red highlighted entries, which indicate items that are not normally allowed to be consolidated. However, since we are still in the interim relaxation period, the system only gives a warning, but does not block you from proceeding. Right-click and select Tick All. Confirm your selections and click Next. On the next screen, review the dates and information. Then click Submit. System will then verify and submit a consolidated self-billed e-invoice. Now, we're going to show you how to submit a self-bill refund note in the cash flow entry section. For example, let's say last time I paid an agent with a commission of 100. Then I found out that there was a mistake. So I asked the agent to return the 100 Malaysian ringgits to me, but I had already issued a self-billed e-invoice. Now, the agent refunds me. Let's say RM20. So what can we do in this case? We can go to New Official Receipt, or, since we have received a refund from the agent, then just fill in the usual information according to standard practice. Select your account code, and enter the amount you received as a refund. Then, in this section, select the person who refunded the money to you. Here, we can choose Commission Refund. Next, go to the Submission section. Remember to choose Self-Billed Refund. Then check which payment voucher this refund is referred to. For example, here we select this one. Tick the box, click OK, then click Save. After saving, we can click My Invoice on the right side, then choose Submit. At this point, the system will validate it as a self-bill refund note. And here it'll show the refund details, including the name of the person who refunded you, the amount, and other related information. The last step I'm going to show everyone: how to cancel a submitted e-invoice. For example, let's say you have submitted this invoice, but you either forgot something, entered incorrect information by mistake, and you find out, or perhaps the customer wants you to cancel it. So the first thing we need to check is whether we still have time to perform a cancellation. If we do, we can cancel it directly in the system. If not, we'll need to issue a credit note to void it. For example, we can click on this invoice. Here, I found that the price should be $1,900, not $1,999. So after clicking on this page, click My Invoice. Then click Cancel Validated e-invoice. Here, we can fill in the reason. For example, it might be wrong e-invoice details or initial cancellation. After that, the status of this invoice will show cancelled. Once that's done, we close it. Now, we can click Edit. Correct it with the right number. Then click Save. After saving, click My Invoice again. Then click Submit. The system will reuse the same invoice number to resubmit it. All done.